Hey there, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, showing you Sanctum from Czech Games Edition. Sanctum is a competitive game for 2 to 4 players where each of your heroes tries to level up in the best way possible to confront a demon lord at the end, clearly influenced by the Diablo video game series. No disclaimer needed for this one. I bought my own copy earlier this year, but I was always bummed out that this game, with its Diablo theme, didn't have solo and cooperative play like Diablo. But in a really cool move, CGE added an official solo variant recently, and I'm going to show you how it works and play through a game. I polled our Patreon supporters on which of the 4 characters I should play, and they ended up on the Slayer, very much like the Barbarian from Diablo. I'm going to quickly go through setup and the basics of play, but if you want to skip right to the playthrough, just use the timestamps. And if you like our content here at the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon, subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the bell icon for notifications, join the conversation on our Slack or Discord channels, and listen to our podcast on Sundays. So to set up Sanctum, you first have to get your character ready, and each have their own unique board and their own unique set of 9 skills, 3 of which will be cardboard tiles, and the other 6 will be cards. And for ease of placement, they're labeled with Roman numerals 1, 2, 3 in red, green, and blue colors. Additionally, each skill is going to show you the gems that start on it, in this case 2 red. So you just take all the gems depicted and put them right on those cards. 1 card for each character. Berserk, in the case of the Slayer, will also have the ability to give you a die. So you place your silver-colored die on that one. 2 gold dice go in your ready area over here. A 3rd one goes underneath a white gem, which starts in your little available gem area here. And the other 2 you can keep to the side for now. You'll earn them later on in the game. You also place your hero's rage token on its ready side. You place red stamina tokens and blue focus tokens in your available pools here, again equal to the amount shown, 3 and 2 for the Slayer. Then finally, to finish up for solo, you take one of the red-blue potion tokens and flip it to see which side you get to start. I'm getting a blue focus one down here in my potion supply. Next, we want to set up the boards we'll be moving on. You see I have the Roman numeral 1 here. And for solo play, you progress the same as in a 2-player game, which means you're next going to go to board 3, then board 5, and then eventually on the back of board 3, you'll get to your final fight on board 6. But for now, you can just have board 1 here hanging out. And you can put your hero's fun miniature just kind of nearby because they're actually going to go on to the first space as their first action. You're going to set up your achievement board. You're going to use this side, usually used for 3 or 4 players, and not this 2-player side with the die icons on it. And you're going to place a random achievement token face down on each of these 9 spots. You're going to leave these blank in solo. And finally, you set up your threat deck, which is your main difficulty modifier for solo. You take all of these basic demon cards and shuffle them, and then you take the deck of Fury cards, and you're going to either put the entire deck on top for easy mode, take 6 cards away for normal mode, take 12 cards away for harder mode, and just take the entire deck away for insane, impossible difficulty. For me, I'm still finding solo pretty challenging, so I'm just going to take away 6, so 12 cards are going on top of this deck. And those are basically going to be no effect cards as we draw them off. You'll see how that works in the gameplay section in a second. And then eventually we'll get to these negative cards that'll start building up if we take too long. And besides shuffling up all my enemy decks and getting them ready, we are ready to play. So in terms of how to play the game in solo, they actually have a really nice little player aid that comes for each hero that shows the basics of the 3 actions you can take on your turn: move, fight, or rest. But let's go through them. When you move, you either move your figure up 1 space in solo, or you just place them if they aren't yet on the board. And then you immediately reveal demon cards based on the icon underneath your space. And it's a bit hard to see, but the icon down there says 5 times 2 of these icons. That means we're going to deal out 5 pairs of these rank 1 demons, just kind of wherever on the board you can fit them, as long as they're not covering up the actual movement spaces. Next, I have to take demons, and that will be either a pair, or later on you might add some singleton demons. You can take one of them, but you take both cards and put them on your player board at the top of it, setting those demons up for fighting later. Now, the final step of movement, that only happens 2 times in each solo game, is when your hero moves on to this final space of the board that has a treasure chest. After you take your demon for the move, you flip over all the remaining demon cards and pick a single one and take it as an item onto your character, which we'll explain in a moment. Your next action, which is really the core action of the game, is to fight. And you can only do this if you have some demons taken from moving. The first step of fighting is if you have some potions, you can discard them to recover either your focus for a blue potion or your stamina for a red potion. Basically taking it off your little battle board here and freeing up some abilities for you to use again. Next, you roll however many dice you have. You only start out with 2, but you can get to 5 eventually. And you're looking for the results you rolled to match the values on the demon cards you're fighting. So here, not too great. I got a 3 and a 3, and I needed a 4 and a 6. Next, you can use your stamina and focus, placing them to cover these spots down here, generally the blue ones, to modify your die rolls. For example, if I cover up this little plus or minus 1 space, I can change one of my dice plus or minus 1 value. So I could get it to a 4 to defeat this red demon. You just put the die right on them. And a demon is defeated once all their health spots are covered, which matters quite a bit because when you get to rank 2 and 3 demons later, you gotta hurt them a few times to actually finish them off. You can also use your rage token if it's active, flipping it to its inactive side to change any single die to any value. So that would, for example, let me defeat this skeleton that needs a 6 here. If some enemies are still alive after you attack and use your character's abilities, you suffer the total of their blood drops and incoming damage. And it doesn't matter if they're hurt. So if you had placed 2 dice on this level 3 demon, you would still be taking 4 damage. You wouldn't care about the injuries he's suffered. Once you see how much damage is incoming, you can use your character's abilities to block, which are shield icons. And again, it's all based on using stamina and focus, usually stamina for blocking. So I could, for example, to block these skeletons 1 damage, move this stamina token over this single shield spot here. It is red. You have to put blue on blue and red on red. Purple, like the boot icon down here, could be either color. Any damage that is not blocked permanently lowers your hit points by 1, and if you get down to this skull and crossbones down here, as you can probably figure, you are dead. Now, a few other quick important things. If you injured an enemy but didn't fully kill them, at the end of combat, you place a little damage token over the die that you hit them with. That way you still have your dice available for the next fight, but you don't have to fully kill them next time. Also, if your rage token is exhausted, you've used it in the past, the way to get it back is to have at least 1 die you didn't place in a fight, and to have at least 1 enemy left alive. It's basically a low reward for not being able to use all of your dice because you didn't roll the numbers you needed, and when that happens, you get your rage back to use again in a future combat, not this one. After combat is done, for each demon you defeated, you have a choice in solo, and this is different than the multiplayer game. In the multiplayer game, you both level up with the gems indicated, 1 green gem here, and flip the card over to have its item added to your inventory, so Woodman's Armor here. But in the solo game, it's an either-or choice. You either take the level up or the item. And they suggest to make the game a little bit tougher, and I like doing this, that you don't look at the item until you make the choice. You can't see if it's exactly the kind of armor you want. You gotta figure out if you think you want it. Now, leveling up is related to these gems here. And for each gem you earn, you can either move a gem of that color or a white gem, white is wild, up 1 space to the next skill space above it. If gems get all the way up to this gem supply here, they're going to be able to be used by you to equip the awesome items you earn as you adventure the next time you rest. Additionally, whenever a skill is fully uncovered, you earn it. Now for these little square tiles, you just immediately get the amount of stamina or focus indicated added to your pool, so you have more stuff to use your abilities. But for skill cards, you get to flip them over and add them to their spot on your board, giving you some permanent advantage in combat or otherwise. And do note, the gems don't have to make it all the way up to your supply, they just have to be off of the card. So if, for example, I gained 2 green level ups and moved both of these, Shield Bash would immediately be unlocked, although I would make Tribal Tattoo quite far away from being unlocked, because now I'd have to move all 5 of those up to get to it. The final of your 3 potential actions in the game is resting, which you're usually going to do when you have almost all your focus and stamina out and you don't really have much you can do in combat. First, you restore all your stamina and focus, moving them back to your pools off of their spots, so those are freed up again. Then you can freely move around items from your inventory to your character portrait. But to equip an item, you have to have the indicated gem or gems, either that color or a white wild one. And you start with 1 white wild, and when you place that on a card, you immediately unlock the die, so that gives you your 3rd combat die pretty quickly. So here, for example, with the white acting as a wild, I've now equipped the Woodman's Armor, which you'll note has the same icons as my starting ability, 2 stamina tokens to do 2 defense, but adds a purple spot that can take stamina or focus to get an extra defense. So these are always going to be upgrades on what you started with. And like I said, every time you rest, you can freely move around your items, put them back in your inventory, freely move around your gems. The key thing, though, is everything on your board has to have gems from your supply on it, equal to its requirements. Finally, at the end of resting, you can buy more potions, up to your maximum of 4. And how it works is, for each item you trash, generally ones you've leveled out of or don't really need, you get 1 potion, and you choose whether you want it to be a red potion for stamina or a blue potion for focus. Now, an extra thing for resting in solo that is not in multiplayer, but super important, is the Demon Lord you're going to fight later is active in solo. Every time you rest, you're going to take a number of cards from the top of the deck, this is the one you built at the beginning of the game, equal to the number of skills you've earned, with a maximum of 9 if you have everything. And if you don't have any skills earned, you still have to give the Demon Lord 1 card. Now, if it's a Fury card, the ones we started with because we're not playing on the hardest difficulty, it just goes back to the Fury deck, no effect. But once you get to these Demon cards, you're going to put them in a supply, and basically these are going to build up into terrible effects that will smash you when you finally fight the final boss, which we'll see in the playthrough, hopefully. And one final thing before we jump in, you have this achievement board here that give you these blessing tokens as you earn specific things. This first column is based on unlocking skills. When you have 3 of your character skills, you get this one, 5 this one, 7 this one. This one is based on having 2, 3, or 4 of a kind of 2 different color types. So if I had 2 red gems and 2 green gems, for example, I'd get this one, 3 blue and 3 green. And these are gems that have made it into your gem supply, so all the way up off your skills. And finally, this one's pretty related, but it's the number of gems you have on equipment on your character. So if you have 4 gems total among all extra cards you've equipped, then you get the first one there. Now, in the multiplayer game, you're all racing each other to collect these, but in the solo game, instead, when you get to the end of your first board, you're going to lose all of the ones in the top row if you didn't get them. Same thing when you get to the end of your second board, you'll lose all the middle row, and when you finish up the third board, you'll lose all of the bottom row. So you want to try to get them before time runs out there. So with those gameplay details out of the way, let's see if our Barbarian can take down the Demon Lord. So first action in the game is always going to be to move. I already put out my 5 pairs in the rules explanation, but here they are. And a really important thing to note is the enemies give you a lot of information. You can't flip them over and see what the item is, but you can see what type of item, like this guy's going to give me some boots, and of course you can see the number of gems and what color they are, and also what they need to hit. And you generally want to avoid doubles, so these guys both having a green is going to make them really tough to beat. Now looking over my board and level ups, Red has some of my favorite abilities for the Slayer. You've got Bloodlust here in the middle that lets you activate your rage more easily, and Berserk that gives you a bonus die but also lets the enemy you're attacking get a free hit on you, so a little risk-reward there. Shield Bash kind of combos with both of those because it makes a demon you have hit during this fight deal 1 less damage. Tribal Tattoo is just kind of universally good. It takes any weapon ability you use to modify a die. You can use it twice. Frenzy gets me a second rage token to change any die to whatever I want, although you still only get 1 rage back when you would regain your rage, so it's not quite as good as it seems. And then Ignore the Pain lets me put my blue focus tokens on it, and basically I can use it to cancel damage, although, of course, I don't have them available to modify dice until I've used that. So yeah, for me, my first priorities are red or green, I think. So with that in mind, let's grab these guys, red and green, and they have a 1 and a 5, so not the same number. And for my second action, I'm going to go ahead and attack them. In the multiplayer game, you sometimes want to get a whole bunch of enemies on you just to kind of speed up the game. But in solo, you can kind of take your time since resting is the only thing that actually makes the demon advance. Oh my gosh! Are you serious? Alright, well, they're dead. That was silly. So I could take them for their armor or boots, but I kind of want to level up first. So I'm just going to take a green and red gem level and discard these guys. And I could immediately remove this and get an extra stamina. But at the moment, I think I have enough. I'm going to try to get this one first. And remember, I don't want to have a ton of skills leveled up too quickly because that'll advance the demon faster. So I think I'll get this and actually try to work towards Tribal Tattoo first. And maybe leave that one for quite a while. Alright, coming back over here, I'm putting another pair of rank 1 demons out. A red and a blue guy. And I have red and green again, but they're both 3s. So let's try these double greens and try to get Tribal Tattoo really quickly. Okay, gonna fight again, looking for a 4 and 5. Oh wow, I again got one of them, that's great. So for the 3, I could use my rage, but hey, I think a plus or minus 1 from a focus will be enough. And they are weapons, which I certainly like, but for now I want to get some skills, so let's go ahead and take both of them and unlock Tribal Tattoo. Remember, I can move a white wild with any color. So Tribal Tattoo comes off, And once per attack, when I use a die, I can use the modifying ability in the slot above this one twice. Oh, whoops. That's the one I covered up, so I guess I won't be using my tattoo for a little bit. So at some point now, I'd love to get a huge weapon in this slot that has like a whole bunch of cool abilities and just abuse that tattoo as much as I can. All right, things are going well so far. Let's add another pair. And it's a red and blue doubled up with weapons. All right, well, it might be a little silly because they're doubled up, but I'm going for red and green right now, so I'm going to try to fight these guys. And here we go. Neither of those is a 3. And my only modification ability right now is +or-2, which would put these down to a 2 or up to a 6, so that won't help. But I can use my Rage and change one of these straight to a 3. And I think I'll kill the green guy first. Then I've got no way to change this 4 into a 3 to defeat that guy. Which means I do get my Rage back, because I have at least one demon left and at least one die left. But I have 1 damage incoming, so let's just move a stamina to my helm space for 1 defense, no damage dealt. Now I could flip this guy for this item slot, which starts out empty and will either give you focus or stamina generally. But I'd rather keep pushing these gems until I get the achievement for 2 pairs of colors, so I'm going to try to get another green and another red. At some point I'll get some items, I promise. And I might as well take another fight action, because I can. Ah, are you serious? Well, I guess I'll use my Rage to change one of those to a 3. And it's a Reg. Should I take the item or unlock a skill? But that means if I rest, I'm going to double advance the Demon Lord. But, yeah, let's do it. So you can kind of keep these near your board just to remind you that your max stamina in this case is 2 higher. And I'm going to immediately add these to my pool. So I have a ton of defense left if I roll poorly, which is probably likely. All right, we're moving up to our last pair of rank 1s before we start seeing some rank 2 demons. And ooh, that's pretty perfect. A red and a green. Let's take them. Don't worry, Blue, you won't be neglected forever. Let's fight these bad boys, and again, just a note, I could keep on moving and have a bunch of demons, but don't see much reason right now. 1 and a 6. What do I want? A 2 and a 3. Okay, so I can change the 1 to a 3 with my +or-2 ability here. And that'll defeat the red demon. But no way to get the 6 down to a 2, so I'm going to get my Rage back, but I have a damage incoming. And looks like 2 red and or blue can do 1 defense here, and then I still have a double block here with my last 2 reds if I need it. Now this guy's a red weapon, which tend to sometimes have weapon abilities, but for red instead of blue, which would be great for me. And I want to get a better weapon above my tribal tattoo, so I'm actually going to take this guy as my first item. Nice, a Gladius. It is a +1 or -2, but this one can be used by red, and again, once per combat, I'm going to be able to double use whichever one I place a thing on. But I can't equip that until I rest. I'm not doing that yet. Let's fight green guy here. Oh, 6/6 and I need a 2. Alright, so let's go in and rage, because I have no modifications left. Defeat this guy. So if I move this green gem up, then I will have enough to get the achievement. Yeah, with not much else green out on the board right now, I'll do it. So I'm going to immediately take this one for having 2 of one color and 2 of another in my supply. And you don't look at them, you just can kind of put them over here in a pile. I need 1 more skill unlocked for the other one, and then 4 gems on items. So really, items is the thing I need to work on a bit. And no point in resting yet, I might as well move. I'm going to add my first rank 2 demon. And this guy's a blue with a weapon. Cool. But I'm still looking for some red to unlock Bloodlust. And I like that this guy has that item type that I passed up before, so let's grab these. And for my next action, I totally could rest, but I don't think I need to, because I've got the ability to block both of their damage with my 2 remaining stamina, so I might as well see if I get lucky and hit one of them and maybe get my rage back. 1 and 6. Yep, I got the skeleton. And then I'll use this for 2 shields, 1 more than I needed, but I do get my rage back because I had 1 die left and 1 enemy left. For the skeleton, I don't want to dip into blue quite yet. So I'm going to go and take the item, a Silver Forge ring, which will give me an extra focus. That's nice since I have stamina mostly right now. And even though it's a blue gem and I have none in my supply, my 1 white can go on there, which will also give me my 3rd die. Alright, might as well fight again before I rest, because with my rage there, I can certainly make sure I defeat the guy. 2 and 5. Oh, didn't need to use it. I love that. So let's see, do I want this guy as an item? Because I need to get at least 4 gems worth of items on me if I want to get that other achievement. So now I think this guy can get rid of, and let's see, yeah, we'll start working towards Bloodlust. And once again, don't need to rest yet, can at least see what enemy I'm going to draw. So moving up, I get a green guy, also with a weapon. Both my rank 2s have those now. And yeah, I think a strong weapon is just what the doctor ordered. Let's get the green one here. And even with my rage here to maybe let me defeat this guy, no way I'm going into a fight with a rank 2 demon who could take 2 of my 10 life away without resting. So I'm going to do my first rest. I get all my stamina and focus back. I'll go and equip my sword and my ring, which does get me my 3rd combat die. Nice. I could discard items to buy potions, but haha, no. And I check my equipment achievements. I need 4 gems on equipment to earn the achievements, and definitely not there. And finally, because I only have revealed 2 skills so far, I just take 2 of these cards off. I haven't reached the actual ones that matter yet. And with that done, let's actually take this guy on. 3, 5, 6. Okay, I got the 3. But the 5 is tough. I could use my rage, although, ooh, actually, let's go and actually put my tribal tattoo to work. I can use a red for the gladius instead of a blue. And that lets me do a -2 twice. So this 5 can do -2 to 3, and then -2 to 1, and finish that guy off. And I'm going to get the item this time, because that's 2 more gems, and I clearly have greens to use it. The Stinger. Minus as much as I want, or change a die specifically to a 6. So once I equip that, 6s won't be very scary. Although this does not have the niceness of the Gladius that has red or blue on that first spot. But still pretty cool. Alright, let's move up and see our next rank 2. Oh, and finally it's a red level 2 demon. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I want, because that'll get me the red I need to unlock Bloodlust and get my 3rd skill. And let's fight this bad boy, 1 out of 3. Okay, I got the 3, a little bit far otherwise. Yeah, the only negative I have is -2. That won't get me to a 1, so let's use our Rage to change one of these straight to a 1. This guy I am going to level up with. I'll unlock Bloodlust, and I guess I'll start working on my 3 and 3 pair for the next achievement. So now this isn't going to happen much until I'm fighting a lot of level 2 and level 3 guys. But before I attack, if any of my enemies have been hit by me previously but not finished off, I'll get my Rage automatically. And for getting my 3rd skill, I get another achievement. So just that equipment one left for the first row before I move off this board, which I can get with the Stinger that I got. And I'll move up. Add 1 more level 2 demon. Ooh, a red with a weapon. Getting too many weapons, though. And now with the treasure chest icon there at the top, I'm going to pick my last pair to actually fight, and then immediately flip everybody over and get one of them as an item. I think I'll mix red and blue again and some defensive items. And now all these guys get flipped. That is a nice weapon, although I've already got a lot of weapons, so I'd have to throw away something. This robe for armor is also pretty solid. It's not actually more defense they already have, but it's more flexible, plus some die mitigation. But come on, I'm a barbarian slayer. I think I have to get an axe called the Butcher, right? Alright, everything else gets thrown away, but I'm not leaving this map yet, so let's fight our final guys. 3 dice, need a 4 and a 6. Okay, I got the 4, but definitely no 6. Although this time with the 3, I do have what I need. Plus or minus 2 will get it to 5, plus 1 more will get it to 6. And don't forget, even though I have 1 die left, I don't have any monsters undefeated, so I don't get my rage back. Now looking at these guys, I don't really have the gems I need to equip this stuff. Well, I guess I could. I'm thinking if I throw away the blue guy for a level and get this white gem up here, that I can take the red helmet and equip it in a second. That's pretty solid, gives me double use of it. Alright, and once again, before I advance to the next map, I want to equip this stuff to get the last achievement. So that is going to take away 3 of the enemy cards, now since I have 3 skills. I'll go and put the Butcher in place of the Gladius, the Stinger in my other hand, and this helmet here. Oh, I guess I did have enough red, never mind. And I could hang on to the Gladius, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw it away and get a red potion. Because remember, I can use those before a battle to be able to use a skill spot again, getting the stamina or focus back. And with now 6 gems filled with items, I get the achievement for having at least 4. And honestly, I'm pretty close to more, because I've already got 3 red gems and 2 green, so 1 more will get that. And 1 more gem on an item will get me that. So the only one I'm a little bit far away from is the skills one, because I'm trying to keep those low so I don't wake the Demon Lord too much. Alright, so now we are advancing to our next act that would have lost all of the top row achievements, but we got them all. And for this one, we're going to put out 5 pairs of level 1 and level 2 demons. We'll actually get to some level 3s in a moment. And by the way, important special spot here, when I move from this space to this one, I get my 4th die for free. I need to get 1 more green gem up to get my 3 and 3 achievement and also get closer to unlocking 5 skills. In terms of items, I don't have boots or armor yet, so those would be the best ones. Ooh, and this pair has both. So sure, let's fight these guys. We'll stick to the plan and fight them straight off. 3, 4, 6, what I'm looking for. And that is a lot of not those numbers. Alright, so let's use the Butcher axe for plus or minus 2. And I can use it twice with the tribal tattoo. So we'll move the 1 to a 3 and the 2 to a 4 to finish off the level 2 demon. And then I can use one of my Stinger's abilities to change any die to a 6. Bam. Let's see, I do think I'll grab the boots, although blue gems, I don't really have many of those. But I'll probably get better than level 1 armor in a moment, so why don't I just move this red gem up for that. Oh, those are interesting boots. They don't really have much more defense, and they need a lot of blue spots. I regret that choice. Well, I guess worst case, they can be a potion for me. Let's go ahead and see our level 3. Green guy with the helmet. Let's see, I do think I want some green and blue levels, so let's go for these guys. And I like that the 1 has a 6 for my other Stinger use. Okay, 3, 5, 6. Okay, that's one of those. Yeah, I can use the Stinger to go straight to the 6 and finish off the level 2 guy. Kind of thinking I might not want to use something to hit that guy, and instead just block his 1 damage and get my rage back. So let's do that. I am going to get 2 blue. I'm actually going to move them off of this. I think I need more focus and stamina. Oh, and speaking of my focus and stamina, I just realized I never gave myself the extra blue for my ring. That makes things feel a little bit better. Let's actually not fight that guy yet. I want to advance and get my 4th die. So another level 3 coming out. This time a red guy with a sword. Mike will keep on being dumb and going for too many weapons. Because honestly, the Slayer is kind of more of a defensive guy with all his abilities and stamina, but I don't play very well sometimes. Alright, let's fight him with 4 dice. Okay, got the 1. And oof. Let's see, the plus or minus 2 doubled could get one of the 2s to be a 6. Then I can use the Stinger to subtract as much as I want from this one. Alright, so yeah, let's do that. So we'll double that to get 6. And then minus as much as we want to make this a 3. And defeat the big boy. I'm definitely going to get him as an item. Flameheart Sword, ooh! Usable with blue or red, very nice. And 2 shields. I might replace the Stinger with that, although I don't think I have enough red gems yet. And then I could use the Rage to fight that guy. Or just block him, but yeah, let's use the Rage and hit him. And I'm going to discard him to get this green up. It'll unlock another skill, getting me another stamina. And I now have 5 skills total, which will be bad for the Demon Lord, but good for achievements. I have 3 3s and 4 reds, so I get this one. And clearly when I equip again, I'll get that one and maybe that one too. Right, I don't have much mitigation left, but I still have a lot of good defense, so let's keep pressing forward. Alright, next is a red dude, although I really don't have enough red gems to equip all this stuff. More green items would be good. Maybe these guys. I'd kind of rather have a better stamina and focus item than the one I have now. Alright, let's fight these dudes. 1, 4, and 5. Okay, I got the 4 and the 5. Nice. But the 1... I can't get down to it. My only changeable right now is plus or minus 3, and he can't go down below 1 or above 6. Okay, that's fine. So I'll just block him with my helmet and get my rage back. Nice. And for this guy, I'm going to take the item. I guess it's not way better, but I like having a little bit of each. Alright, I guess let's just fight that guy again before we do anything else. There we go. Now, do I want a red? I don't know if I want to unlock Berserk. I guess I could move up the white there and be 1 away from getting it up to the end. Or I could just take the item and get basically a potion with it. But now let's move up the white. I like that. Alright, we're still fairly solid. Let's keep fighting. Alright, so almost to the treasure chest. Level 3 blue. Kind of almost want to fight him just to get some more gems from him. Sure, let's go for it. Alright, so what's he want? 3, 3, 4. I've got my rage. I've still got decent defense, although I don't think I can block everything if he hits me hard. Alright, I got a 3 and I got a 4. What do I need? A 3. Plus or minus 3 with my axe. 6 to 3. Boom. And yeah, I am going to level up with him. And even though I won't always use it, it's pretty nice to have double frenzy. So sure, let's unlock another skill. I know that's going to advance the boss more. But we haven't really done much with him, and we're on the lower difficulty setting, so I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I've got a little bunch of gems here. Nice. Alright, let's finish this one up before I take another rest to get the achievement, I guess. So the last spot is another level 1 and level 2. They are both green. And I just realized I don't have any armor yet. And this guy's the only one, so I can either fight him or just have it auto-flip after I choose who my enemy's going to be. In terms of skills, Ignore the Pain is pretty solid since it can prevent 2 damage from the boss, but Shield Bash will also prevent a bunch of damage from the boss. If I can get one of these greens all the way up, it'll give me my last achievement, although I don't know if I have time for that. Well, you know what? I might if I fight a big level 3 green guy. With that, let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to get the armor. Yep, that looks solid to me. And let's try to take this guy down before we rest and then advance to the next board. Alright, we'll need 3, 5, 5. Oof. Okay, we got a 3. And I've got nothing left. I guess I'm going to double rage. That seemed like kind of a waste. Alright, but I do defeat him. And we're going to triple level green. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. That'll get me to 4 and 4, so I get the next achievement for that. And then if on the next board I can defeat at least 1 worth of green enemies, I can unlock Shield Bash and get my 7th skill and have a kind of nice setup, I think. But before I do anything, I think I do want to take a final rest because I hope I can get... I think I can probably get 10 gems all at once. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll just kind of move things around, see what I can make fit. I've got some blues now for the sandals. Greens for the armor. Oof, even more greens for this. I guess I have the whites for him. And that will get me 1 more stamina, and I keep the 1 focus. And last thing, big sword. I think I can replace either of these. See, if I replace the butcher, I clearly have 3 gems for it. If I replace the stinger, I can move those greens down here, take the whites, so either way I can replace them. So the question becomes, what do I have capacity for? So I've only got 4 blue focus total. Right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dedicated blue spots, more than I can use. And then for red, I've got 8 of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm good for red. I have a bit more blue. So I guess if I go for this one, it won't really change much. Yeah, I think I'm going to replace the bow. And I actually think I'll keep the butcher where it is, even though this is the level 3 and that's the level 2, because Tribal Tattoo is going to double the movement abilities of this one. This one has 1 less because of the shield. Oops, and I did not take away cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I just have 1 dead card left before I get to the bad things. And I will go ahead and sell these for potions. You know, I'm wondering now if I could have not used my rages and maybe used a potion, but I can't do that after the fact, so too late. I guess I'll get a blue and a red, keep it equal. Maybe I should just get 2 reds. Yeah, you know, I will just get 2 reds because that's clearly where, like, most of my best stuff is. And let's see, I've got 1, 3, 5, 8, 10, 12, so I immediately get both of these achievements for the 7 and the 10. Which means the only achievement left is 7 skills, which I should get when I get Shield Bash in a moment, hopefully. Alright, on to our final board before the boss. So this one's a little different. When we pop in, we just get 5 pairs of level 2 and level 3 enemies. And we just pick one of them to fight and the rest go away, so you can't do a lot on this final board. So key thing for me is I want a green to level up, which I have a lot of nice options for, literally every pair. So the question becomes, do I want a level 3 green that'll kick it all the way up to the top, or a level 2 green so I can get like a level 3 item? In terms of which items I might want to upgrade, my only level 1 is my helmet. And I have 1 gem, so if I got like a red helmet, then I would have enough gems to equip it. So I guess that means you guys will be my friends? Oh, and I forgot to say, the second you start that board, you get your 5th die. Which is good, because there are 5 spots to cover here. Alright, we want what? 1, 4, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I got some of those numbers. If we can do the 1 and the 4. So, here's my thought. I really want to get my rages before I fight the boss. So if I injure this guy and defeat this guy, I can block his 2 attack. That would mean I won't have finished him off. I'll have a die left, so I'll get 1 rage back, and then Bloodlust will give me the other one back at the beginning of the combat. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and change the 5... Or no, I guess we'll just put the 5 on this guy to damage him. And then the 1 can become a 6. I wish I had the bow now that automatically did it. Let's see, you can do +2, doubling it with Tribal Tattoo. That'll get it to 5. And then that'll get to the other 6. Alright, so level 3 is done. Level 2 is injured. I am going to level up with this, so I'll do 1, 2, 3, I guess. And get my 7th skill, Shield Bash. So anybody damaged will deal 1 less damage. Which means, hey, it might not matter much, but this guy's only hitting me for 1 instead of 2. And I have so many ways to block 1 damage. There we go. And this is the first time we've done this, but I'll mark his 5 and take my die back. Fight him again. We need a 4. None of those are a 4, but you have to rest before you fight the boss, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, sorry, I should have both of these. One from having a die left over and an enemy, and one from Bloodlust. And yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll use +3 or -3 to change the 1 to a 4. Boom. And this guy I do want to get as a final item, Bronze Jaw Helmet. Barely better than what I have. 2 shields on the first spot instead of 1, but I'll take it. And since I did get a 7 skill, I performed a clean sweep of the achievements. Feeling good about that. And I have both my rages, all 4 potions. Yeah, man, this is going to happen. So once I've defeated my enemies on this final board, the boss is basically going to show up, but first I have to take a final rest. So we do have 7, so that goes away, but now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too bad, but these cards are not going to be nice to me. I get a final chance to equip things. I'm actually going to have to throw away an item because I don't have space for another potion. All right, so I definitely have enough for my new helmet. There we go. Throw this away for nothing. I also have an extra green gem that's not doing anything for me. Never got my 6th die. But I have every achievement. I'm feeling pretty good. So now we're going to set up our big baddie boss fight. And this is a bit different than how it works in multiplayer. First, I'm going to take the cards that I earned. These are the 6 that I drew right at the end there. And I'm going to put 2 of them down here. All the extras I'm going to use to build a pyramid. So first I'm going to go 1, then 1, 2. And then just 1, because I couldn't get up that high. Basically, these are going to be before I fight the boss. I'm going to suffer these after round 1, and this one after round 2. If I'd had a whole bunch more, I would have just suffered tons of negative effects. So we suffer these immediately. Each one gives you a choice. And it's always going to be an either-or thing. You face 2 additional damage in your next fight, or 1 heart. The first round of combat with the Demon Lord is the toughest in terms of his damage, so I'm just going to take 1 damage, my first of the game. Oh, we are perfect no longer. Okay, and the second one, Soul Drain. Lose 1 focus or 1 heart. So I would just have to take away a blue entirely. Nope, sorry. Now we're going to lay out our little combat row. And this is the same no matter what difficulty level on. You're going to have 5 of the normal demon cards. I can't quite fit them all, but I'll just move them as I fight them. And then 4 of the Fury cards we never use except as markers in between. And these are what I need to defeat to win the game. And how it works is, I'll fight it just like a normal combat, so I'll be on this guy first, I'm looking for 3 or 5. But when I defeat him, I can take that card away and move to the next one. Now the Fury cards, when you get to them, you're going to flip them, and they'll not only have attack information, but also a negative effect you have to suffer. And you keep on going until you run out of dice, or want to stop, just like a regular combat. But then you suffer damage equal to every single card remaining. So, assuming I get through maybe like these first 2, I'll suffer 2, 4, 6, 8 damage on this first attack. I don't suffer the Fury cards I haven't revealed yet. And after that first round of combat, I'll suffer all 3 of these, and then again after round 2, and then I won't have to deal with any more of those. I can just fight until I die or defeat him. But you can't rest between this. All you can do is use potions at the start of combat. But I do get all my achievement bonuses. So some are numbers like this, so I just have a +1 I can discard. Yeah, we can clear these away to make it a little bit more clean. So I've got 3 automatic blocks of attacks, I've got a bunch of dice mitigation, and I've got, a free stamina and a free focus. Cool, I think I have enough now to use every single skill potentially. Alright, let's fight this guy. 3 and 5 to start. That's a good start, so let's just go ahead and knock those straight out. Immediately go on to the Fury. And Terror. Use your Rage for no effect or take a damage. Rage is pretty good. But I have a ton of mitigation right now, so sure, I'll go ahead and get rid of one of my rages. Now this guy needs 2 and 5, and I have not that. And looking ahead, this guy needs 2 and 4. Let's see, I do have sandals that can set anything to a 1 or a 5. So sure, let's use those to change a 1 die straight to a 5. I guess I'll make it one of the 2 1s. I still need a 2. These are kind of more restrictive, so let's use my -1 achievement token. I'll take the 3 down to a 2, so that card's done. Move on to this one. Want to hurt it with my last die. And yeah, let's just use our +1. Again, want to get those done. That'll get it to a 2, which is nice because now Shield Bash is going to make it only do 1 damage instead of 2. So I'm taking 1, 3, 5, 7 damage. Well, this is the biggest one, so might as well use them. So that's 3, leaves me with 4. And that's a double, and that's a double. So I've stopped all my damage. Alright, and I mark the partially damaged card. Oh, and this is beautiful. My Bloodlust is going to get me my 2nd Rage back in a moment because this guy's damaged. But first, the Demon Lord roars at me. First, I have to either corrupt a blue ability space or take a damage. Corrupt means I place a damage token on it and it can never be used for the rest of the game. Well, let's see. Looking ahead, we have a bunch of 5s, and the only one I could cover is a 5, so I guess I'll take the damage again. Next, corrupt a non-weapon ability space. That I'm fine doing. We'll just get rid of that helmet's second block space. Finally, lose 1 stamina or 1 focus. I actually think I have more than I need now. I have 4 to do all the purple and blue spots here. Then I've got 7 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I can totally afford to lose a red, I think. Alright, that guy has roared, so let's fight again. And we get our rage back. Thank you, Bloodlust. Okay, so we need a 4 first. Got it right off the bat. Love it. Doing another one of these. Flame Blast. Yikes. Pay for 1 ability space and ignore its effect or take 2 damage. Wow. Alright, well, I'll just cover up this block 1 damage one. And I've got 2 1s and 2 3s, so I can do that. I don't need 1s ahead, so I want to use this plus or minus 3 to change that into a 4. Alright, so almost out of blessings. That guy's also defeated. I just got 2 3s left. And this one's actually a little goofy because if I hit him twice, I have to immediately advance onto this, even though I'll have no dice left, and take extra damage. So I think I might just use a rage to hit it once. That'll make it only do 1 damage, and then I'll get my rage back in a second. So yeah, I won't use my second die. So with that, I only have 5 damage incoming. Well, only. Oh no, I didn't leave myself enough defense. So that's 2, that's 4. Yep, since I covered the thing up, I'm going to take a damage. Let's mark that. We get our rage back. We just have to suffer 1 more roar card. Lose 1 stamina or 1 focus again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've got 6. So I think I'd rather take the damage. Well, do I really need all of these? Sure. But we don't have to worry about those anymore. Now it's just fight, fight, fight. Alright, so I can use some potions. Let's not forget about that. So let's certainly uncover that 2 block. And let's uncover that one. So that should leave me pretty safe. And I really haven't used my mitigation powers yet, so I think I'm good for potion drinking for now. Alright, I need a 5 to finish this guy off. Oof. Could use my blue ability or just a rage. I feel like I'm going to get my rage back a lot. Now, I don't know what I need for the next card, but I know I need a 3 and a 5 here. So let's change the 6 to a 5 with rage. Alright, moving on. Tail Swipe. For this fight, lose 1 die not yet assigned, and it's got 3. So I've got 4 dice left, which is just enough to defeat this guy and then damage him. So I'm just going to take the damage. Okay, this is actually pretty good. 1, 3, so I just need a 5. And then, darn, I still need a 3 or 5 for the next one. My plus 2 doesn't help at all, so I got to dig into other things. Ooh, look at this. I can do plus or minus 3 times 2 with my tribal tattoo. Put this down to 3, put this up to 5. So that'll finish him off and damage him for my shield bash to go off and to get my rage back. Lovely. I definitely feel like I should have done a harder difficulty setting. Alright, so I got 3 damage incoming. Ooh, I got to overspend, don't I? Yeah, that's 2, 4, darn it. Well, you know, maybe I'll take 1 and save the double shield. And I get my rage back with Bloodlust. Do I want to use any potions? I mean, I guess I'll use my red potion to get my shield back. And we can stop there, save the blue potion for maybe some dice mitigation powers in a second. Alright, let's go for it. With 5 dice, we could theoretically destroy him this turn. Although, probably not if they're all 6s. Yeah, I guess, let me change one of the 6s into a 5 with my shoes. My last special card. Oof, another Tail Swipe. Yeah, I like to do the same thing as last time, where I get onto the card and then shield bash it. Although, actually, I've got more than enough defense, so I will lose a die I haven't assigned. So I want the 3 and the 6, so let's lose the other 6. So 3, 6, I just need plus or minus 1. Sword, you got me for that, right? So that'll be a 5, so that's defeated. I'm on this card, but I haven't hurt it yet. It'll attack me for 2, easy peasy. I'll block with whatever. And then, sorry buddy, I think I can take you out with my 2 rages regardless of what I roll. But I did get a 6. And then, yeah, I mean, heck, I have an abundance of options. There we go. You're done. So man, clearly I improved my strategy since my last game because I won that pretty handily, whereas the last time I barely made it, scraping by. But remember, I could have been on the harder mode, which would have given me 6 more of those Demon Roar cards, and I would have had to take their negative effects because I wouldn't have had enough health to lose. Or I could have been on crazy mode and had 6 more even than that. Yeah, you can imagine how that would have gone. But that is Sanctum with the official solo mode. No review for this one since it's an added-on solo after the fact, but I'll say it's definitely making me want to keep Sanctum more. I wasn't sure if the game had enough legs just playing multiplayer and how often do I do competitive, but solo, and I bet we can figure out a co-op variant for it, I bet there's already one on Board Game Geek, is definitely making the game more worth my while. I enjoy the leveling up and the combat quite a bit. It's pretty fun. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you at the next stop.